I am Charlie Winburn, your life coach with Renew Community Church right here in the city of Cincinnati. And I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers. Did you know that you are both human and divine and that you deserve to live a better life in Christ right here on earth? Our messages are practical, they are raw, they're fun, and they are focused on real issues as it relates to your spiritual life, health life, your mental life, your financial life, your relationship life, and even your business life and community life. Today, we have another real life application message designed especially for you and your family. Remember, before we get started today, you can learn more about Renew Community Church free life coaching by visiting our website, renewcommunitychurch.org, or you can listen to us every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. each Sunday on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream, or reach me at 513-884-7832. I want you to join me now for another life-changing message with Charlie Winburn, your life coach, right here in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Good morning, Renew Community Church family. What a beautiful day to be happy in the Lord. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Sunday morning mastermind class designed with you in mind. It is a good day to be alive, but it's a better day to live with emotional happiness. Hey, get ready, guys, today. Coach Winburn, as you know, we wasn't live last week, but Coach Winburn will be up shortly with another awesome message. Today's message is entitled, Millions of Americans Are So Angry. Are you one of them? Why are there so many angry people in America? Millions of Americans are so angry. Are you one of them? Are you one of the angry Americans walking around? Well, learn how to become emotional happy today. Coach Winburn will show you today and teach you how to become emotionally happy. You will be able to be changed and lose all that anger and bitterness that you have inside of you. You will be able to let that go today. Coach will teach you how to let that go. How to release that. He will teach you the root cause of the anger. You wonder, where all this anger coming from? Well, today, Coach is going to teach you and show you where all this anger is coming from and what's behind all that anger, that pent-up anger that you have inside of you. Again, welcome to Sunday morning mastermind class designed with you in mind. We would like for you to connect with us today on Facebook and YouTube. Share the message. I know there is somebody that needs to hear this message. I know we all know somebody that is angry. We know somebody who is going through life who is very bitter, they're upset, and they're easily explosive. They can't handle very much before they explode. Well, today, Coach Winburn will teach you how to deal with that anger and pent-up resentment that you have inside of you. Again, we would like for you to subscribe and watch today. Make comments. Tell a friend that Renew Community Church is live on Facebook and YouTube. Before I get to that, let's see here the 30-day focused life story calendar. Well, you know, today is the 27th. Well, October is almost over. It's already the 27th of October. And today's topic is, it is my divine and human right to have great relationships today. It is your divine and human right to have great relationships today. It is your right. It's a right to have a great relationship today. We always like to do the next day, which is the 28th. It is my divine and human right to prosper and walk in the fullness of God's emotions today. It is your divine and human right to walk in all the fullness of God's emotions today. It is your right. You have a right to do that. You have a right to do that. It has a right to have a great relationship today. So what we do with the 30-day Focused Life Story Account is we tell one story each day, 3 times a day, 60 seconds each day for 31 days. And with that, it takes approximately 21 days to get rid of the negative vibrations. So in 21 days, you would have got rid of all the negative vibration. But in 31 days, you would have created for yourself a positive, life-changing, emotional vibration. All right, so what is our mastermind class all about? Well, our mastermind class is built on biblical principles coupled with basic science so that we can live a better and divine and human life right here on earth. It's not a regular religious service as usual. It's not regular church as we know it. It's not a Sunday school service. It's designed to help people do like our foundational scripture, which is Romans 12 and verse 2. And that is, don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Don't be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Be changed by the renewing of your mind. You have to renew your mind. You got to renew your mind. And there's times when we say, okay, our mind is okay, but we have to renew our mind in order to move forward in our life. If not, then we will stay stuck where we are and won't be able to move forward in our life. So we need to renew. It's a very, very important that renew our mind, change our mindset, change our lives. Well, we like to do I always like to do the brief recap of some of the things that Coach Winburn talked about last week, but there was no service last week, so I'm going back to the week before. And that week before, the previous week was, it's time to have a crucial conversation about life. That message was entitled, It's Time to Have a Crucial Conversation About Life. And what does it mean to have a crucial conversation with yourself? What does it mean to have a crucial conversation with yourself? The most powerful question in the Bible comes from Genesis 3, verse 9, the fall of Adam. God asked Adam, where are you? Where are you? God, he knew, he see him, he knew where he was, but he was asking Adam, where was he? So we're asking you, where are you? Where are you in your spiritual life? Where are you in your health life? Where are you in your mental life? Where are you in your relationships? Where are you in your business? Where are you in life? If you could change one thing in your life, what would that be? If you had the opportunity to change one thing in your life, what would you change? What is a crucial conversation? That is a conversation that involves high-stake topics where opinions vary and emotions run very, very strong. Coach gave us 10 definitions of a crucial conversation. These are 10 definitions of a crucial conversation. Critical dialogue, vital discussions, high talk impact, essential exchange, transformative conversations, conflict resolution talk, strategic discussion, and trust and building conversations. These are 10 definitions of crucial conversations. Coach gave us 7 key reasons to have a crucial conversation about the next chapter in your life. So 7 key reasons to have a crucial conversation about the next chapter in your life. Number one, clarity of goals. Be able to articulate and clarify your aspirations, what you want to do. Number two, receiving feedback. Feedback can be a helpful insight. It can help you oversee the blind spots that you may not even consider. Number three, building support networks. Sharing your plan and aspirations foster a sense of community and support. Number four, addressing fears and uncertainties. This can alleviate a lot of anxiety that you have in your body. Number five, embracing accountability. When you share your intentions with others, it creates a sense of accountability. And number six, exploring opportunities. Conversations can lead to unexpected opportunities. Just having a conversation, you can end up with an unexpected opportunity that you never saw coming. Number seven, fostering growth. Engaging in deep conversations, encouraging self-reflection and personal growth. Your first crucial conversation start with you. Your first crucial conversation start with you. You got to get you together first. In order to help someone else, you got to be able to help yourself first. Because if you can't help yourself, you won't be able to help anyone else. Coach gave us 7 additional crucial conversations to have with ourselves. Again, additional crucial conversations to have with ourselves. Negative self-talk. Have a conversation with about negative self-talk to yourself. Talking negative to yourself. Unresolved childhood trauma. Emotional unhappiness. You got to eliminate the third party. Get that other person out of your ear. You got to be able to reduce oxidative stress, inflammation, and toxicity in your body. You got to stop comparing yourself with others. And then you have to practice unconditional love. So you have to practice unconditional love. These are 7 additional crucial conversations to have with yourself. You have to have a conversation with yourself about the negative self-talk. Talking negative to yourself. You got to stop that. You have to change that negative to a positive self-talk. The unresolved childhood trauma that's lingering in your life, you got to resolve it. It has to get resolved. You're not going to go any further than that unresolved childhood trauma in your life. You got to get it out. You got to become emotionally happy. That's the key, becoming emotionally happy. And you got to eliminate the third party in your life. That other person, that third party that's in your ear, you got to eliminate that person if it's negative. And then reducing oxidative stress and inflammation and toxicity in the body. We got to do things to reduce the oxidative stress, the inflammation, and the toxicity in our bodies. And then comparing ourselves to others. That's a big one. We always want to compare ourselves to others. If you want to compare yourself to somebody, compare yourself to yourself. Be better. You choose to be better. You choose to be better next year. Be a better person than you were last year. You do that for yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. And then again, practicing unconditional love. We got to practice unconditional love. We have to do that. That's something that we must do ourselves. I know it's hard sometimes, but we have to practice unconditional love. And with that, I would like to bring up Coach Frutel.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach Dan. Appreciate you with your recap. We appreciate you with the recap. I want to kind of share some things. I want to do the basic stuff I do all the time. First of all, please, sir, please, ma'am, what we'd like for you to do is share our message. Last week we had a technical issue and we weren't able to get on. So I know you stored up all your anger for this week, and we want you to learn how to eliminate your anger. We want you to be able to defuse the bomb that's going off inside your body. And so what we'd like you to do is get double-digit shares. We want to get double-digit shares. This might be life-changing for the people around you that are so tender and they go off all the time. You need to have them watch this message. So we want to have double-digit shares. You can share it by text. You can send them the Facebook link. You can send them the link through YouTube. So we want to have double-digit shares, because what that does is that it creates a situation where many, many people start to do it. I've already shared on my Facebook page. So that's number one. Second thing we'd like you to do is make a comment. Sister Jennifer, she does this all the time. She makes comments. There are a number of people in there, they comment all the time. And what the comments do is that, number one, it helps you bring your learning into view. It makes your learning come into view. That's very, very important. You don't want to fly by this and scoot past it, so it takes it into view. So you want to do that, and then what happens is you might catalyze somebody to make a comment or to hear the point or see the idea the way in which you see it. So it's very, very important for you to comment. The last thing I'd like for you to do is to put that emoji on there. So that emoji also, it bubbles up. Once again, working with social media, it bubbles up and it gets other people to participate in our message. So we definitely want to do that. So that's the part there. I will read from the 31-day Focus Life Story calendar. Today is 27. So let's look at it. It is my divine and human right to have great relationships today. It is my divine and human right to have great relationships today. Day 28, it is my divine and human right to prosper and walk in all the fullness of God's emotions today. It is my divine and human right to prosper and walk in all the fullness of God today. So those are the messages out there, and we want to make sure that you get involved and get excited. Coach Winburn is going to be coming up. He's going to be sharing a message with everybody today, and the whole question is this whole piece about anger. We want to make sure that you overcome all the different issues that you have in and around anger. I believe, just like Coach believes, that anger is a bad thing. And so what's happening is we have a lot of people with all this anger in their life. And so the question is, why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you so angry? And he's going to talk about, if you hold on to that bomb, guess what? It's going to impact you. That's number one. The other thing you need to look at is that Cincinnati's gun violence, America's gun violence, is due to what? Angry people. Let me say it again. The gun violence situation is due to angry people, period. I had a situation. I had one of my customers called me, and I told this person a year ago when they became a customer, I said, listen, you need to get a will. Last month, they called me and they said, Chuck, I need to get a will. I said, what happened? What changed? What pricked you to getting a will? This individual said, I was an innocent bystander. I got shot in this club. I'm like, whoa, I guess you got the message. But why did this happen? Here's the thing. Why did this happen? Here he is. It's not like he's a bad person. He goes to this place. It's near his house. He goes to this place. Everybody knows him. He was just an innocent bystander, and people got into an argument there in the bar. He was even away from that. The guy goes out to his car, gets the gun. I don't even know if he shot the person he was angry with, but he shot two innocent bystanders. That don't make no sense. I'm losing this thing. Why don't we flip the battery on it? I think that might be it. Isn't that the battery? Is it? I'll use this one. So in any event, I don't know, but that's what tends to happen. That's I don't know what it is. Hopefully the mic ain't going out. anyway, we'll just work with it. So my point is that was created by anger. This guy was angry. He didn't know how to diffuse his anger. He has anger issues, and so that's what happened there. So in any event, we want to deal with that. So let me talk about the Renew Community Church, help everybody understand. Our church is built on biblical principles coupled with basic science and neuroscience so that we can have a better and divine life on the planet Earth. The master class is not a religious service, number one. It's not a Sunday school class. It's not church as usual. This is a place where we can learn some things that's going to help you be better. What's also different about what we're doing is that at the end of this message, you'll be able to get Coach Winburn's ebook, and you're going to be able to get the notes from it, and that will be emailed to you. So if we don't have your email, you can just put your email, just post it on YouTube or Facebook. We'll be able to pick that up and send out the message to you. Now, I want to do the message I want to bring is I have been wondering for decades, Coach Dan. I've been wondering for decades why rich people are rich and poor people are poor. Even though I've been working in the industry for all this time and helping people, I could never put my finger on it. I saw it. My team and I, we've talked to over 12,000 families over the past 40 years, 12,000 families. So we got a good basis of seeing it, and we see the impact of it, but we just couldn't put our handle on it and figure out what was going on. And so I want to give Coach Winburn the credit because I knew there was something missing. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But through what we've been learning here through Renew Community Church, I was able to come close to it and put my finger on it, Asia. And the whole issue is one called financial trauma. And so I'm going to deal with that. I talked to it a couple of weeks ago. I want to finish it up and do the third leg of what I want to do. Financial trauma is an emotional, cognitive, relational, and physical symptoms that are activated by significant financial stress. So it's created by financial stress. It creates a negative view on how you view, interact, and your beliefs about money. Financial trauma can also be not just an individual problem. It could be localized in your family, or it could be generational. So it could be all those different things. Typically, financial trauma occurs in the youth. And I'm going to put a video on in a minute to deal with that. In fact, let me go through that. So let's I'm going to click through this and get into it. Okay. There we go. For some reason, it's not rolling with me. Why don't you go to the next page for me, Asia? Yes, it's not. So this disclaimer, this teaching is my opinion. It's for religious educational purposes, and it's designed not to diagnose or give medical or psychological advice. If you have issues in that space, obviously what we'd like for you to do is go to a medical doctor, psychiatrist, or some counselor that can help you through the challenges here. So it's still not clicking. I'm clicking both the arrows, it's not. I'm not sure why. Okay, why don't you hit the next one? And you can go to the video. Go to the video. Yep, do the video. Because what we're going to talk about is children.
Everybody's bigger.
This
the
is
world
talking
is
about
scary.
children.
They're not sure how to navigate.
The brain is taking in information, is making narratives from an early age.
They are looking to the people around them to show them how to interact with money.
But children don't directly interact with money, so parents don't need to worry until much later in their lives, right?
At the age of 3, this is when we first start putting together the equation of money and value.
What are the parts of my money story that I think are valuable to pass on to my kids? What were the messages that were sent by your mother, your father, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, significant caregivers? And how do you think it affects your financial communication today?
The biggest thing that parents can do to help their children make better financial decisions in the future is talking to them about their personal financial decisions now in the present.
How can we make sure our children learn healthy attitudes around money? And how can we confront and correct the deficits in our own upbringing? This is Your Brain on Money. So, Dr. Cable, when we're growing up, how does our brain take in money behaviors?
We're born at a stage where the brain isn't fully developed yet. And a lot of the final development of the brain happens outside in the world, compared to other species.
And so the brain is taking in the information and is putting it into categories, is making associations, is making narratives from an early age.
And we start to develop these thoughts that are called money scripts. And so just like an actor is given a script and told in a scene how to act, when certain things happen around money, our brain gives us a certain thought, and then we know the script and how we're going to act.
Our early experiences in our family system and directly around money have a profound impact on our beliefs around money, and our beliefs around money predict our financial outcomes. If you grew up poor, money is something that's scary. Not having money is scary. The problem is that as you grow older, maybe you do have money, but you still have that fear. You still have that anxiety because you can't shake that belief. There'll never be enough money.
On the other side, folks who might be really affluent and privileged, they might think money can solve every problem, but not build up mental toughness or withstand things that sometimes money can't solve.
And so children are being constantly exposed to the attitudes, the mindsets, and the behaviors of their parents and other loved ones around them and their relationship around money.
If all of this is happening at an early age, what are the real-world effects later in adulthood? Kathleen and Brad were kind enough to share their own stories growing up.
My mother gave me some money to go buy milk. It was the good old days when you could go buy milk when you were a kid unsupervised. And so I ran off with my friend. We got the milk, and I can remember there was a nickel change. And when I got home, I gave my mother the milk, but I did not give her the nickel. And of course I got in trouble. What I walked away with was my love of money is shameful. That there's something wrong with my desire to hang on to this nickel that is not okay. And so as an adult, what is interesting is I've always been good at managing the money, making money, but my love of money, my desire as an entrepreneur to be profitable, actually I had to work through some of that shame and that discomfort, I think because I was sent the message that it's not okay, Kathleen, that you love money so much that you want to keep it.
So I think I associated not having money with pain and anxiety and family strife. My mom likes to say, we were middle class except lower. And I'm like, yeah, Mom, they got words for that. In my understanding my own financial psychology, I went home and I interviewed my mother. I didn't understand why she was so afraid to invest. And then she told me this story about my grandfather, which all of a sudden made my crazy relationship with money make perfect sense. My grandfather went to the bank one day and his money was gone. It was the Great Depression. The banks closed. He never put $1 in the bank the rest of his life. He died in his 90s, keeping his money in a lockbox. So understanding that family pattern, it really gave me compassion for my grandfather and my mother, because of course my mom's anxious about money. She's too anxious to invest. She was raised by a guy who wouldn't even put money in the bank. So we have these conclusions we walk away with around money. Rich people are greedy, or money corrupts, or you can never have enough money, or there's virtue in having less money. These are all beliefs that we've studied that get inherited and emerge from our experiences around money.
So what can we do to help?
Wow. Wow. So this video really speaks to the issues that are going on for people as we're young and we're coming up. What was interesting to me in this video, which Coach Winburn has been teaching us, is it starts at a very young age. And in fact, much younger than we would tend to think, where young people pick up on money and money concepts. So according to this video, it happens when they are at 3 years old. So that happens when they're 3 years old and they're seeing how they're creating value and money. You need to go back. You need to go back. How people have value and money, and they're tying these two things together. So it's really interesting. So here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to just take a minute and just try to reflect back into what has happened in your life. Where have your money values come from? Because that's really, really important. You know, it's said, and I've seen it happen, that when you deal with relationships, husbands and wife, most of the time the reason why the marriage breaks up is because of money. What happens is one partner has one idea, the other partner has another idea, and then the problem, and then on top of that, in the African American community, what we've seen is about 80% of us have financial trauma. It's a little bit higher in our community than in the general community. And so what happens is you might have a source of trauma that's different than your spouse's source of trauma. But there's still trauma nonetheless. Coach Winburn is going to come up and he's going to talk about being angry. Some people, because of this, they might act this anger out in their marriage. And part of it is they don't, a lot of people don't even know why. They've never looked at the source of their anger, and because oftentimes this anger and this trauma has been passed down, you get it from your parents. If you're struggling with money right now today, the chances are very good, guess what? Your parents struggled with money. Let me say it again. If you're struggling with money right now today, the chance is very high that guess what? That you're struggling with money. And so that's the issue that we want you to think about. I grew up, I told everybody, I grew up in a very poor environment. I grew up on the west side of Chicago back in the 60s, and back then, the ghetto was like 1 million people. And I'm serious. And so I had war. They ended up talking to me, interviewing me, and they created this song, "The World is a Ghetto," based on my life experience, because as a child, that was all I knew. You understand? That was all I knew. And so many people in our community had that same experience. Even if you didn't grow up directly in that environment, you had a large percentage of your family that grew up in that environment. And so when you get around your family members, you try to adapt your philosophy to fit in with what's going on. Now, that's for youth. Financial trauma can happen in adults. That's a little bit different than adverse childhood, your ACEs, right? Financial trauma can happen in adults due to what? Bankruptcy. You can have a death of a spouse, a partner, or a child with little or no life insurance, financial backing. I talked to this lady. She was an at-home wife during the day. Her husband didn't have any life insurance, died, and they had about 4 or 5 kids. She was traumatized. So when I met her, she wanted life insurance on herself, and she wanted all her kids covered with life insurance. She didn't have her kids paid. She paid it. Even though she had very little means, she paid it anyway. Why? Because she was traumatized through the death of her spouse. Sometimes you can have trauma if you've had extended job losses or you've had unemployment. Or maybe you've been in a situation, maybe you don't have a lot of skills, this, that, and the other, and you go through this cycle where you've been unemployed. That becomes financial trauma. So what does this financial trauma get into? Next page. The financial trauma can trigger high levels of what? Stress, anxiety, depression, behavioral changes, as well as physical symptoms. There are people that are so stressed out that it starts messing with your stomach. You get ulcers. You allow your body, all this stress to build up, inflammation to build up, and what happens is your body starts to attack yourself, and it messes your body up. Asia, can you click the next page? And then as we go, hit it again. And so in extreme cases, recovering from financial trauma may require mental health professional. If you've been stressed out, if you're the type of person, you ain't paying attention to your paycheck, if you're the type of person, you have money and you lose it all the time, if you're the type of person, you don't look at your financial statements, you don't look at your bank statements, you got a 401k, you never looked at it, you've never read a statement. No, seriously, you're struggling with financial trauma. If you talk to a person and then they start talking about money and your brain shuts down and you feel bad or you feel like you're going to lose money by investing, you have financial trauma. You really do have financial trauma. And so the last part, my last couple of minutes, Coach Winburn is going to come up and talk about anger. Hit the next one. I want to give you steps for how to get it solved. Number one, you've got to determine your source of financial trauma. This may not be overt. It might be very subtle. It might be a philosophy that you've been holding on all your life. I talk about, my parents were fairly good with money, but my dad had this philosophy that was wrong. He didn't ever say it, but his actions were make a little bit more money than everybody else in the community. And that was the model that I locked into. So literally at my first job I had, my first real job, I ended up making more money than my mom. I've always made, and she was working full time, and I had this job during the summer, and I made more money than she made. And I've always made better than average income. But in that, Coach Dan, there was a limit. What if I didn't have a limit? I've been working on erasing my limit. You got it? Because I've limited myself in a very subtle way. I've limited myself. Number two, you have to evaluate each trauma event. If you've been in a situation where you've been homeless, that's a trauma event. I mean, I was basically couch surfing in college. I was homeless. I didn't use that word because I didn't like that word, and I didn't see that as my future, but I was financially traumatized. But I changed. I said, when I get a job, this ain't never going to happen again. So you have to change your beliefs that have been passed down for generations. For me, I said it was not acceptable for me to be homeless. Some people think it's okay. Number four, you got to diagnose the trauma. What created? This is very important. What created it? Was it an external force? But I want to tell you the question is who created it? I've come to learn that the biggest issue that people have financially is not things outside of you that's going to hurt you. It's what's inside of you that comes manifested in your daily activities, how you handle your money, that ends up biting you. And it tends to bite you at the wrong time. Does that make sense? Go to the next one. Coach Winburn is going to come in and deal with the question of why are you so angry? And what can you do about it? Why Americans are so angry? As I continue, was that trauma external or internally created? Then the last one, this is one that's really important. At the end of the day, you've got to ask yourself, what does God say about this trauma? What does God say about you as a believer? I want you to know that you need to come to grips with what God has said about being a believer. You're going to have to, at some point in your life, I believe that in order for you to get the level of healing that you need to have, that you need to come to grips with what God is saying. And so you need to understand in Isaiah 53 and 5, it says it this way. But he, Jesus, was wounded and bruised. He was traumatized for your sins. He was beaten that we might have peace. And the word peace means shalom, nothing missing and nothing broken in any aspect of our life. He was lashed and we were healed. So what that literally says is that we have a legal bound authority to live a life of shalom, nothing missing, nothing broken, and we can live in health. How about that? We can do that, but you've got to come to a place where you have to believe that you have a better reality than what you're living right now today. Can I get an amen? It also says in Philippians 2 and 5, it says it this way. Let this mind be in you, which is also in Christ Jesus. Let this mind be in you. What mind is that? It's the mind of Jesus. Can you put a new mind in instead of a mind of fear, of a mind of frustration, a mind of anger? Why don't you put in a new mind? Here at Renew Community Church, we tell people that this. We tell them Romans 12 and 2, right? And be not conformed to this world. You ain't got to live like your neighbors. No. You ain't got to. It's good to see you, Kim. Are you Kimberly today? You ain't got to live like your neighbors. No. You ain't got to live that way. Here's what it says. But be ye transformed by the renewing. That means over and over and over and over and over and over. And renewing is a process. It is an accelerated process. It's like walking up steps. Just because you done seen Coach Winburn and the coaches here come in and do a lesson, you ain't got it unless there's evidence in your life. If there's no evidence, you ain't got it. If you're stressed out, you ain't got it. If you're angry, you ain't got it. If you're dealing with financial trauma and it's still with you, you ain't got it. This is saying that you need to renew your mind, going over and over and over and over. I told you I've been searching this for 40 years. And I got the progressive revelation just about a month and a half ago. But it's all right. I got it. I ain't going to let go. I got it now. And I'm going to free a whole bunch of people up. I'm going to unleash an army of people that's going to free folks up all across the United States and Canada. Next page. Coach Winburn is going to come in here and help you with your anger. Here's what you got to do, folks. No, this we want to get it down. You got to get this one down. You got to make a choice. Who are you going to believe? No. This is serious. This is where the rubber hits the road. you're going to have to ask yourself, who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe God, or are you going to continue to live in fear and be angry and frustrated all your life? That's the question. Who are you going to believe? Are you going to believe what God says? God says you're the head, not the tail. He says you're above and not beneath. Who are you going to believe? That's the question. 8, I just said you got to rewrite your trauma experience. How did I rewrite my trauma experience? About 3 years ago, I started reading about black millionaires. Got Audible book and started reading about black millionaires. I started reading about millionaires. Why? Because that concept was foreign to my upbringing. I told you there was 1 million people in the west side of Chicago. I didn't see nobody get out. They only got out in body bags. So I didn't see nobody come up and come out of that. So as a result, I thought it was impossible. You got it? So I had to start looking at, black millionaires. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. I started there. I read that book before I met the guy when he first came here. But I read it twice. But now I'm getting this progressive revelation. I said, I need to eat it. I need to put myself in the book. And it went through all these different people that had success in spite of their challenges and background. Got it? And then I went on and started reading others. Number 9. Last thing you need to do is you need to forgive yourself. It's okay. It really heals. Most of you haven't forgiven yourself for the things that you've done and it didn't work out right. You're down the road. You're in your 50s, 60s, or 70s. Your money's funny. Your position's not right. Maybe you're in an apartment. Here's what you need to do. Forgive yourselves. Start loving yourselves. Here's why. God loves you. God loves you. Next one. Last one. Then adjust. Get a financial coach. Share with your financial coach the trauma so that they can become guardrails if you become financially stressed. Let them know. Number 2, create a spending plan. If you don't watch things, you won't get right. Coach Winburn got our leadership team, and we got this sophisticated scale. And the purpose of the scale, you got to understand the purpose. The purpose of the scale is to watch what you're doing and become measured. If you never measure your body and your weight and your vital function, guess what? The chances are very high that you're going to put yourself, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have serious health injuries. I had a lady, this is kind of off, and Coach is going to be here. I had a lady tell me this, and it just hurt me so bad. She was talking about her husband, this, that, and the other, and she was talking about a situation. I said, well, what about your husband? She said, Chuck, my husband went to the doctor early this year, and he's been limping around. I made him go to the doctor, and he had these socks on, and he never took his socks off until when we took his socks off, his foot was black, and it was gangrene. They had to cut his leg off to the knees. I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I was in shock. First of all, I could see that if you were by yourself and you didn't want to tell somebody, but you married to a wife and you jumping in the bed and I guess you had socks on or something like that, and she didn't know that your leg is shriveling all up. I mean, that just traumatized me, but here's my point. If you don't pay attention, stuff like that happens. You got a hurt in your finances and you never address it. Ends up being the same thing. I know I'm right. We done seen 12,000 families. I done seen it over and over again. Number C, build an emergency fund and add to it every payday. I have a client 80 years old. Been retired for 20 years. Last week, she needed a new furnace and air conditioner. Good news is the money's there, but guess what? She said, well, I guess I need to start putting a little money back in there to build my fund back up. I've been good for a while. So, yeah, every day. That's why we have people in our community, they lose their house because they don't have a fund, and then something happens, like their furnace is out and they can't deal with it. They end up losing the house. Their taxes go up. They can't deal with it. D, improve your financial literacy and then develop both short-term and long-term goals. Coach Winburn is going to be coming in shortly, and he's going to be talking about the message, and the message is a great message. He's going to talk about millions of Americans are so angry. Are you one of them? Millions of people, think about that. Millions of people in America are so angry. Are you one of them? Millions of people in America are so angry that they lie about other people. You understand? People are lying out of anger. In America, we've gotten to a place where we've got this anger thing on a high pitch. We hate all immigrants without knowing them. We see that in our politics. We see it in our conversations. And then when they talk about immigrants, that's a signal not for all immigrants, but for Hispanics, because they certainly ain't talking about Europeans coming over as immigrants. You see what's happening? You have all this anger about young black men. We have all this anger about these people. We have all this anger about, it's really sad what's happening, all this anger about women's health rights, if you will. If you put it in place, we don't have anger about Coach's favorite word, men getting vasectomies and men taking Viagra. We don't talk about that, but yet people in power want to control the conversation about women. Think about it. We've got all these conversations in the African American community about the color of our skin, light versus dark, the texture of our hair. We got anger about our brothers and sisters that are still grappling with poverty. Why are we angry at them? We should be in a position to help people come up. I said our goal is to create a stair step. Why are we angry at those folks, right? Why we have all this anger? Why do certain churches have all this anger with single parents? Think about it. At some point, chances are we're going to be single parents. I grew up in a traditional home. My dad died when I was 16. My mom, therefore, was a single parent. Why do we have all this anger without getting the story? I have a cousin, a second cousin, God bless her. When I met her last summer, she taught me a lesson. And make a long story very short, she was she hurt her arm, and we were having a family reunion last year. So anyway, she lives in Dayton, so she texted me, can you come and get me on the way to Chicago? So I never met her. I just talked to her on the phone, never met her, this, that, and the other. I go to her house, and I'm pulling up to her house, and she's out in the country in this cornfield, and I see all these signs, KKK, all these KKK signs. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I'm saying to myself, I think I'm at the right place. So I called her on the phone, and she said, yeah, I'm getting ready to come out. Her next door neighbor was probably the head of the Klan there in Dayton. And I'm like, my spider sense is tingling. Alert, alert. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Danger, danger. And so anyway, we get into the story. She said, don't worry about him. I said, how did this happen? Well, he moved in, blah, blah, blah. And to make a long story short, he had an opinion about black folks based on what he had heard. He had never experienced black people. Now he's living to this lady. She's a strong believer. And so she didn't see him as the head of the Ku Klux Klan. She saw him as a child of God. Now, Asia, pray for me. I'm not there yet. She saw him as a child of God, and so every Christmas, she would bring him a plate. And she would bring him a plate and do this and do that and do this and do that. And one time he got hurt, and she brought food over there to his house, and his girlfriend was there, and they couldn't believe it. And she said, I'm willing to cook for you. Right now today, they're the best of friends. Now, I don't know if he's got out of the Klan yet, but she softened his heart. You hear what I'm saying? She softened his heart. Why are we so angry? And we got radio stations, and they are so narrowly focused, and they find a group of people that like this message of anger and hate, and they stay on that page. It's amazing to me. If I'm driving, you drive across the country, and you go into these different communities and these different places and these different cities, and you just on the radio, you can see how dramatic, particularly during this season, political time this season, the message is so different. It's almost like, really? The message is exact opposite of what I hear here in Hamilton County. You go in different places. It's really amazing. So what am I getting at? The point is that people have a lot of trauma, and there's a solution for it. Coach Winburn is going to come in. He's going to talk about how to get past your anger. There are many, many people that are angry. The question is, why are you so angry? There are millions of people in America that are angry. Are you one of them? The gun violence that we see on the street right now, I mean, it's happening every day. I talked to Coach Dan, and he's a sergeant at the police force. And we need to pray for people in that position. No, we really, 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 really do, because they come up against it almost every day. And they have to deal with the aftermath of all this anger, all this frustration. And really, it's a psychological issue. It's a mental health issue that's going on in our nation, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's spiraling up and up and up. Does that make sense? So we want to pray for those people that are in that position where we can really deal with and adjust to people that are dealing with that challenge every day. I mean, there's certain things that I could do well. I don't know if I could do that job. No, I know I can't do that job. I know I can't do that job because I wanted to be a doctor. I thought I wanted to be a doctor because I was good in science. I thought I wanted to be a doctor. So when you had to start cutting open these animals and stuff like that, I'm like, that ain't me. I quit. Biology told me that I wasn't meant to be a doctor. I was like, let me slide out of this thing. This is not for me. So what I'm saying is that we want to pray for people that serve. We got people in our military. We got people on the fire department. We got people that are working in the ER. We got people that are working on police. And they come up against all this stuff. In fact, we have it in our schools. We have it in our schools, folks. We really, really do. There are people that are in our schools, and they deal with this anger that's being manifested in these kids. These kids are angry. Why? Because they have all this drama in their home. And they're getting traumatized. They're getting traumatized. And so their mentals, their emotions, and their financial, all that stuff is all jacked up because of the trauma that they've been going through in their life. So we want to pray for those people that are in that particular situation, in that particular arena. The last thing is Coach is preparing to come up here, and I can say this, is that we all need to vote. This is one of the most important elections probably in the last maybe 60, maybe 100 years. Certainly in my lifetime. Very, very important election. There's a lot of things at stake on the national level, on the local level, international, a lot of things going on. So if you don't know what to do and how to do it, there's this thing that you can get online. It's called the League of Women Voters. It's nonpartisan, so it ain't Republican, ain't Democratic. You can go online. It's an excellent resource. I've been using it for decades, literally. It was started by women. Think about this. It was started by women at a time when women couldn't vote. Think about it. It was to educate people on voting. So we recommend that you do that. And so at any point, we got Coach Winburn, and he's ready to lead us in today's message. The message is, why are you so angry? There are millions of people in America that are angry. Are you one of them? And so with that, Coach Winburn.
Okay, greetings to each and every one of you all in the name of Jesus Christ, the Anointed One and His anointing. And if I can get my clipper here, I'll be ready. Okay, thank you all. Appreciate it. And welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class right here in the city of Cincinnati. Good morning to some, good evening to others. And we're here right now. Want to help you move where you got to go. And I guess I need to cut this on. Y'all work with that. Welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class right here in the city of Cincinnati. And we really appreciate each and every one of. Okay, yes. Okay, well, let's, we got to move. Okay. Yes, that's okay. Okay, well, we'll move from there. This next live in-person service is November the 3rd, and we'll go through there, and we'll keep moving here. Keep just moving, and we'll keep moving from there. And we want to just move now right into our ebook is available for those. Today we're going to go through the ebook on anger and help you to get where you got to go. And we really appreciate each and every one of you all. And we'll go from there. Try to change the batteries, see if that'll work. 60 seconds to a focused life. And we will go from there. 3 easy ways to give today. And we're going to just bypass the video because we're going to redeem the times here today. There are 3 easy ways to give. 3 easy ways to give today. And number 1, we're going to move past the video. And here it is, sundayconnectcircle.org/give. I want to make sure you all see that. here's an opportunity for you to give today. And I pray that that will be a blessing to each and every one of you all. Okay, Cash App. We want to go back to Cash App there, and the Cash App, if we can, Cash App and Sunday Connect. Okay, there it is, your Cash App. If you'd like to give right now, what great opportunity. They still trying to work with my clicker there. Y'all may have to buy a new one. We got to get ahead of these things. And thank you all. Cash App, next one by mail. And Renew Community Church, if you want to also give by mail today. Let's go back to the Cash App if we can. Let's go back to the Cash App if we can and give people an opportunity. That's online now, Cash App. Let's just give each and every one of you an opportunity, if you can, to give right now. We appreciate, last week we had technical situations. We bought in new computers and finally got our engineer to make it work, and we're here today, and we're just going to move forward. Okay, Cash App you could do by mail, and we'll keep going as we go through Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday morning mastermind class. Is designed especially for you today. It's designed especially for you today as we move forward. Again, welcome to the mastermind class, designed with you in mind. And so we're ready. Our foundational scripture is found in, which one did I hit here? It's found in, where did I hit it? It's found in the arrow. Okay, we're going to try to see if this will work. Okay, that did work. Thank you. It's good to have Chuck around. He's an engineer, farm engineer at Procter & Gamble. So here it is. I want y'all to take a look at this promo for a moment. Just take a look at the promo just for a moment. If you don't destroy anger in your life, anger will destroy you. If you don't destroy anger in your life, anger will destroy you. How many of y'all know anger will destroy you? It will destroy you. We're going to talk about that today as we move forward. Next is we're back here. I'm trying to hit that again. There you go. Anger. Anger is a sign. Let me just tell you this. Anger is a sign that you do have untreated childhood trauma and untreated PTSD. Untreated PTSD. I'm almost convinced you all, 80 to 90% of people that I know are walking around with untreated PTSD. Most of the people I know, most of the Christians, family members, friends, are walking in unresolved PTSD. Well, we'll talk more about that today. Let's go on. There's a little delay here, but I guess this is here. Anger will destroy your immune system or make you permanently sick if you don't stop it. And matter of fact, I'm convinced that most people who are chronically sick, it's anger. They've never been able to handle and really able to conquer their anger. So let's see here. Is that you doing it or me doing it? Oh, okay. Anger management. Anger management. Thank you. Glad to see each one of you all. Anger, you are practicing. If you're practicing anger management, guess what, you all? You still have anger. If you're practicing anger management, you still got anger. Because we're going to show you how to eliminate it today. Is that right, Dr. Kim, and each and every one of you all? And if you're practicing anger, you still have it. Let's see if we could. Oh, anger increases your blood sugar, your glucose reading to type 2 diabetes. If you stay angry long enough, you whether you eat anything or not, you will end up with type 2 diabetes because it's a chronic situation. So a lot of people have diabetes. They say, oh, I exercise, I do all this. But what it is, they're angry all the time. So they walk in anger. And so why are there so many angry people in your life? Hopefully we'll talk about that today. Okay, there's a little pause here, but hopefully we'll get a brand new one of these next week. Okay, Cincinnati gun violence due to angry people. I know in your district, Coach Futel, all these angry people with all these guns, and we'll talk about that shortly here. And have anger in your life and want to stop it, join Sunday morning's mastermind class. And you want to stop it? Well, you can. You can. Okay. Anger increases aging. Isn't that interesting? So if you're angry, you won't look like me. Or I could tell you that. You won't look like Kim. So if you're anger increases. Okay, I look like I may have to hit that thing 3 times. That's what it is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this is our ebook. Our ebook is available for each and every one of y'all. All these resources are in our ebook. All these resources, Clifton Natural, I'm just going to go through them. You all I'll just keep clicking. Want to just do that until this thing start moving. Domestic violence, and am I holding it right? I guess I am. Okay. And Dr. Chuck, can you get that other one working, or what do you think, or is it just out? Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, if you all can go get one this week, please do so. Okay. Romans 12:2, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Let's move forward. Let us know who we have here today. Also, listen to this, you all. Now, don't get mad. This is how you find out if most people are angry. Try to correct them, and you'll find out. Try to correct folks. And I hate to tell y'all, Christians are some of the worst people you can't correct Christians. They're mean and nasty, and then they wonder why the world don't want to come to their churches and don't want to be around them. Look what it says now. Don't get mad at me. I didn't make this up. This is the Bible. It says it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Now, I didn't say this. And don't y'all get mad because somebody wrote it in the Bible, because we're going to hit the men here. And the Bible also going to hit the men. So what it's saying, it is better for you to be in the housetop over in the corner somewhere with a woman that's mad. Not on the roof, but in a corner somewhere. Because when she goes off, according to the scripture, now not according to me, if you don't like what is written here, go beat up on Jesus. Go beat up on the people who wrote the word. It is better to dwell. Now let's go on. We're going to hit the men here. They're going to hit the men. An angry man stirs up strife. It's nothing like an angry man. I was down on city council with some angry ASB men. They angry men. They stirred up strife all the time. They were furious and angry men. And some of them had the nerve to carry a gun. It is amazing. If you're an angry person, you don't need no gun, no knife, no nothing. You're dangerous. Let's go on, everybody. Try to hit this again. Okay. A man's pride, look what it says, shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Let me try to get it again. Look what it says. Be ye angry. Now, just because this is here, this is not your justification to be angry. It is not a justification. It is abnormal to be angry. But what happened here when the scribes and them and the teachers were trying to show grace to people, it was saying, okay, if you're going to be angry, don't sin. Don't kill nobody. Don't knife nobody. Is everybody here? And let not the sun go down upon your anger. But many people go to bed, couples, husbands, wives, go to bed, angry each other, and then got the nerve to ask the Lord, now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord, all that. Just shut up in Jesus' name. You probably die in your sleep because you're so angry. And people do because they're so angry. They carry anger in their body. Let's go on to the next scripture here. I'm going to try to, let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. I'm going to say it again. Try to correct somebody and watch what you trigger in them. That's all you have to do. Correct somebody and watch the anger in their lives. Try to instruct them. Try to correct them. Please don't rebuke them. They'll be ready to pull out their gun. Are you all here with me? Here's another scripture. Okay, look what it says. be ye kind. How should we always respond to each other? Let me know who's on today. It says, and be ye kind one to another. This is our profile all the time as believers. Who we have with us here today so far? I know we was off last week. Some people you off 1 week. We don't see them. Okay, Shades of You Eyewear, one of my dearest friends, and appreciate y'all need to buy glasses from one of my wonderful friends, Bettina. Shades of You Eyewear, just specially designed for you. Also, Clarence Whitfield, my brother-in-law and sister from Atlanta, Georgia, they just reported in. Pamela Williams and others hopefully will report in just 1 minute. I think we got some watching on YouTube. Please comment, everyone. Please comment and be kind to one another. Look, listen, you all, tender-hearted. How many people you know that are tender-hearted? In most of you all's homes, it's violent, chaos, somebody screaming, somebody mad at each other. Forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. This is the profile I like to have in my life. This is matter of fact, this is the profile that I practice in my life. I practice this stuff every day. Tender-hearted. Glad to see you, young brother. All right, glad to see you. Let me just keep hitting here. Now here's what, this here is for the men. It says, make no friendship with an angry man. If you know a man has a tendency to fly off the handle and they're angry and they're touchy-feeling, Coach Futel, make no friends with these people. Look what it says, make no friends with angry. There's some people that I like, but they're angry. There's some people that I would love the fellowship, but they're angry all the time. They're ready to kill somebody, hurt somebody, beat somebody up, always ready to stab somebody, always in some violence, always in being involved with the law. It's just always angry, always got these issues. And your anger is going to cause somebody to kill you, or you're going to kill someone else ultimately. And that's where anger actually leads to. It leads to death. Nothing good comes out of anger. Now, I know some of y'all say righteous indignation. Yeah, but that wasn't anger in the Bible. You can have a righteous indignation, but to be angry. But look what it says. Don't even make friends with an angry man or angry woman. With a furious man, thou shalt not, don't even go with a furious man, lest thou learn his ways and get a snare to thy soul. And it was amazing. I've been in politics since I was 12, 13 years old, and I've just never seen so many angry politicians. And then these angry people want to run for office. And they want to run for office and dictate to other people and depress other people and rule over other people, and they're angry and they're mad. And so make no friendships. Let's go on. Okay, what is anger? We're going to get in it pretty good. Can y'all hear me pretty good out there? And is all minds clear? Are y'all ready to go? Okay, Coach Futel, thank you for a great job today. Thank you all, Coach Dan. And so as we move forward, now let's talk about this just real quick. I do want to tell you all right now, most of our politicians and most of our clergy in America, you all, suffer from untreated PTSD. And you know what that is? That's post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to tell you, in order to pastor church in America, and the people that come in the congregation, they bring all of this trauma with them, that unresolved childhood trauma. And let me tell you this, it impacts the pastor in that pulpit. I want to tell you, so most of the men and women of God that are in the pulpit, and I can tell you that almost a majority of politicians suffer from some form of unresolved childhood trauma and unresolved PTSD. That's post-traumatic stress disorder. And as a result, some of the characteristics of untreated PTS, you know, in my family, I'm just want to be honest, you all. One of the things I like is transparency. See, you don't want to probably be a member of my you don't want to be a member of my family, because I talk about my family, not in a negative way. What better opportunity to stand up here and be open and honest about your own family? I have a lot of my family members have PTSD. and they have untreated childhood trauma. And some of them are mad all the time. They upset. They hang up on you. They just do crazy stuff, you all. And then when you try to instruct them and correct them, they trigger. Did you all hear what I'm saying? And then y'all try to make friends with these angry behind people. See, I didn't say something else. Are y'all here with me? So the characteristics of untreated PTSD involves intrusive memories, avoidance, negative change in mood and cognition. Have you all ever just saw a beautiful, handsome young man, a beautiful young girl, and just 5 years later, their whole character has changed, and they've become so angry, and you wonder what happened to them, and hyperarousal, heightened state of anxiety, disassociation, all of these emotional distress, interpersonal relationships, physical health issues. And I want to say it again, you all, the majority, and maybe I'll say it this way, the majority of politicians that I know of, and that's a sample, and the majority of clergy that I know suffer from untreated childhood trauma and untreated PTSD. That's a post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental health condition that can occur after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event when left untreated. PTSD can lead to all kind of debilitating symptoms. And now I understand why I act so crazy in the pulpit 30 years ago. I was traumatized. I grew up with trauma and untreated childhood trauma. I had a church that had 100% of PTSD people, and then 100% of unresolved childhood trauma people. I married these people. They married me. So we're a mess. And everybody's ready to explode. And then nobody want to recognize it. Nobody wants to take responsibility. But I did in my life. And so I follow peace now. Now, let's just get down to it. We're laying the foundation. Are y'all happy this morning? Dr. Jennifer, glad to see you. Dr. Michelle, Coach Futel, Coach Dan, Coach Aisha, Coach Kim, and all of you all. God bless you. Where's Aunt Ann today? Okay. Tell I send her my love. Okay. Well, y'all ready to deal with this message? Boy, our whole service was shut down. People, I know y'all believe in evil spirits. Oh, the devil shut it down. No, we couldn't reach our engineer. Are y'all here with me? Now, if the engineer was the devil, then that's totally different. But sometimes we just don't know. I hear people tell me, sometimes they just don't know why they're so angry. They just don't know why they are so angry. And they just don't know why they're so angry. And then they don't know why they have anxiety. Now, from time to time, how many of you all will agree that we all have some anxiety from time to time? Can you lift your hands, those in the auditorium? Sometimes we have some, are you all here with me? We have some anxiety. I was driving to a friend's house not long ago, and I was supposed to have been there, and all of a sudden, I was driving there. I wanted to get to their house, and I didn't know what had happened, and I don't know if I had anxiety or whatever it was, but I was wondering what was going on. Why did I have this anxiety? We're not talking about panic attacks, because that's a different bird. That's a different one. Are y'all here with me? But we're talking about, why are we anxious sometimes? What causes us to be so anxious, have this anxiety? And many times we don't know. But I will say this because of my teaching, sometimes we have anxiety because it's God's way to try to vibrationally get a message to us and trying to tell us to stop and slow down, because he's trying to give us a message about our lives. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? And so sometimes we get clarity, and then so what I did, I inhaled, I exhaled. You start breathing, start using breathing techniques, and after you use a breathing technique, let's do it right now, everybody. Let's breathe. Come on, let's inhale. And then exhale in your nose. Let's do it again. So many times we need to stop, inhale, exhale. Clinton said he didn't exhale, but he did inhale. You understand what I'm saying? So why are you so angry? Have you ever asked yourself, why are you just so angry? Why are you so angry? Just stop for a moment. Why are you so angry? Just ask yourself that question. Why am I so angry? Why are you so angry? Again, sometimes you don't know why you're angry. But why are you so angry? Who hurt you so bad that created all this anger in you? Who hurt you? What happened to you? What happened to you that made you so angry? What happened to you? Why are you so emotionally unhappy and so angry? Why are you so angry? All this anger, are you all aware over the last 22 months here in America, are you all aware of this? Over 1,000 mass shootings? In the last 22 months, over 1,000 plus mass shootings here in America. Anger. Just this year alone, and we're not through, over 14,000 gun-related homicides. Just this year here in America. Not counting the people that were injured. Not counting the 25, 26, 30,000 people injured every year through gun violence. And also over 40 to 50,000 suicides every year. Why are you so angry? Suicides on the rise. And as a result, you all, some of this anger has happened as a result of, because of things like child molestation. And people never resolve their PTSD, or maybe as a result of a rape or physical abuse by a parent or a guardian, emotional or psychological abuse, neglect by caretakers, parental abandonment can make people so angry and they never got over it, or witnessing a domestic violence situation, or bullying at school. When I used to live at 244 North Wayne Avenue, we had a big house there, and we had a couple. She was this woman was so pretty, you all. And of course, you know, I always liked the pretty women. And I am about 9 years old. And this pretty woman lived upstairs, but she had a boyfriend that would beat her all the time. And so I got mad one day and came down and asked her, I said, is he beating you? Let me take care of him for you. Now, he could have blew me away. And he would just beat this woman all the time. And it was just awful, you all. And she stayed there and took that whipping and beating. It was just awful. Why are you so angry? Bullying at school, being forced into labor exploitation can make people angry. Sexual exploitation, involuntary placement in foster care. Now, I didn't have that problem. I asked them to put me in an institution. I did not want to go with my crazy behind family. My uncle drunk, he was drunk all the time. Put me in an institution. And I didn't care whether it was mental. I didn't understand it back in days. But they put me in a place called Allen House, and I loved Allen House. I didn't want to leave. And there at Allen House, I fell in love with a girl called Esther Robinson. And to this day, I haven't found her. And I look for her. And y'all heard that story, right? And I don't mind telling it. You know? Yeah, sometimes y'all think your wife, your husband is the only people you ever been in love with. That's not true. Okay. Matter of fact, I had a little something about love in here. Might as well throw that in here now. I'm going to tell y'all something about love. Yeah, see, how did I get off on love? Well, true love really has no reasons. True love really has no reasons. I loved Esther. I had no reason. Well, I did have a reason. She was fine and cute. I did back in those days. I didn't know any better. But true love has no reasons, because if you have a reason, you have a condition. I love Coach Dan because I love him. I love Kim because I love her. I don't have to have a reason to love Kim. I love her. There are many times I wake up in the morning just so happy. I don't need a reason to be happy. And I don't need to ask, why am I so happy? It is my divine and human right to be happy. It is my divine and human love. True love has no reason. And if it's true love, it's unconditional love. But if your love got reasons, that's why many relationships don't work, because we got to find reasons to love somebody. I got to find a reason to love you. Oh, yeah, you're so kind and you're so wonderful and you provide for me. What happens when the person is not so kind? What happens when the person does not provide for you? Now you don't have no more love for them. Because true love, repeat after me, true love has no reason. And I want to give Miles Monroe for that. He opened my eyes on true love has no reason. Anyone tell you that they love you, run from them. Run. No, anyone that tells you why they love you. No, let me say why. It's all right to tell somebody I love you, but if they ask, well, why do you love me? And they start giving you 10 things, that means the moment that you don't fulfill those conditions, they ain't going to have no more true love for you. Why is it that I just can't love Kim because I love her? Why is it that I just can't love Dr. Michelle Grace because I love her? Why do I have to do that? And even we have to watch this thing, you're easy to love. And I used to say that you're easy to love, but say the day I'm not as easy to love. Are you still going to love me? Is everybody, y'all might as well smile. Anyone tell you why they love you? It's a condition. It is called conditional love. I want to say it again. It's conditional love. It is not that kind of God. It's not the God kind of love. Because they love you as long as you can give them a gift. They love you. And in my own family, you all, they only love me on what I can do for them. And the hell with me all throughout the week. And then you may not even hear from them until they want something else. Are you all here with me? Who else do we have here? Is this pretty good, you all? Yeah. I love you because I love you. Repeat after me. I love you because I love you. I want you to just look at somebody and say, I love you for no reason at all. Can you do that? I love you for no reason at all. Can y'all do that? Well, I just love you for no reason at all. Why you all have to put all these, I love you because you're so handsome. Then I'm scared of you. What's going to happen when I'm not so handsome? Did y'all hear with me? I love you because I love you. Let's repeat after me. I love you because I love you. And if you love someone on conditions, and when the conditions is gone, you stop loving. Oh, by the way, are you all aware all divorces and separations, people loved each other, but it was based on conditional love. Because when you stop doing for people, you'll find how much they really love you. So will you still love me when I'm not easy to love? Will y'all still love me when I'm not easy to love? No, they didn't. We've had thousands of people. They didn't leave just because of me. But many of them had PTSD and unresolved childhood trauma, and they blamed it on me. Are you all aware that 95% of the people leave the church because of the members in the congregation? Only 5% of the people leave because of the man or woman of God in the pulpit. And now I understand. We are pastoring. I don't do that. We are pastoring a congregation of 100% untreated PTSD people and unresolved childhood trauma people. And that's all right. That's why they got to come to church and they shout and dance and they do the holy dance and they got to have the music. All that makes them feel good for a pointed time, Coach Futel. But when they have to go through Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday and get back here, they don't have nothing to sustain them because they never took time. So I want y'all to say, I love you because I love you. I love you because I love you. I don't have to have a reason to love you. That is my reason, love. Did y'all get it? Who else do we have here? So what else happens what's the root of these problems as a result of people's anger? Mental health illnesses. Who do we have? We have, Dr. Molly Thompson. Thank you, Molly Thompson, for your great giving today. Appreciate your great giving. and also Dr. Zola Stewart, one of my dearest friends. Thank you. Y'all need to go to Zola's. I go over there. I get collard greens, salmon, and then they got one lady over there. She put her foot in it, and oh, my God, it was good. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Yeah, she cleaned her feet. Look at Dr. Bishop. But it was good, y'all. Y'all need to go to Zola's. It's really a fine place right there on Reading Road. Zola's is open. And then we got today Blessed and Messy. We got them. And then Batty Tappy 58. And they're on YouTube, and others are joining us. What are other reasons why people are so angry? And why do we get so angry? Sometimes you just don't know why you're angry. That's because many times you don't know why you're angry because you have not resolved your PTSD and untreated childhood trauma. And as a result of mental health situations, exposure to harmful environments, being ridiculed for your appearance, sexual harassment, having a parent in prison can create anger, religious or spiritual abuse. And that right there, churches are full of religious and spiritual abuse. By the way, we had one man, he called himself a man of God. He was attacking the presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ this week. Y'all heard about him? And he wanted to tell, Swaggart wanted to tell the black church how to run we wouldn't have a black church if the white church had opened their hearts to black people. The reason why Richard Allen had to start the African Methodist Episcopal Church because white Methodists would not allow him to take communion. And so Swaggart this week, the Sun, attacked presiding Bishop Shear. You ought to tend to your own business. Deal with your own racism in your own church. You get healed as a PTSD. Deal with your father. Your father had issues. Deal with your father. You know, won't you start dealing with your mama? Take care of your own PTSD. Take care of your own treatment and deal with it. Are y'all here with me? And so what else can happen? So that's called church abuse. Being forced to move quickly. There's some people, they move all the time, change their phone number all the time. Religious or spiritual abuse, experiencing a lack of affection and support. Some kids grow up, just no support, no love. Being ostracized by peers, feeling pressure to succeed academically and athletically, witnessing substance abuse, and being subject to strict and unreasonable discipline. If you all grew up under that, I don't know, have y'all grew up under that kind of stuff? Unreasonable, and then I'm telling y'all thought it was cute. I know the Bible talks about spanking and all that, but let me tell you this, the people who wrote a lot of that stuff in the Bible suffered from unresolved PTSD themselves. They suffered from unresolved childhood trauma. No, I don't believe every word in the Bible that is of God. That's why we got to study to show ourselves approved a workman that needeth not be ashamed, rightfully dividing word of truth. Even Paul says, I'm speaking now. I die daily. I had a thorn in my flesh. So you got to remember, many of these people who wrote the Bible were sick people. They were people who had post-traumatic stress disorder. And some of the prophets who ran from Jezebel. I know Elijah, he ran on the juniper tree. That woman was going to beat the hell out of him. Are you all here with me? He got scared, and they asked him, why are you running? This woman scared me. That's trauma, you all. And then they turn around, and we had one man of God, I think it was Elijah. They had a big fight there on Mount Carmel, and they beat up all kind of people. And then Jezebel came around, and they tell me, I may have the story a little rearranged, but Jezebel came around, and he just got through prophesying and talking to these false prophets and dealing with Baal, and Jezebel came around looking for Elijah. That Negro ran, I don't know what he was, white person. He ran under some juniper tree. Boy, this woman is after me. Are you all here with me? That'll give you trauma. Are y'all here with me? So, okay, where are we here right now? So those are some of the things. Now, here are how people express their anger. How do you express your anger? Very seldom do I get angry. Very seldom. Now, I do remember, well, I don't even want to go there. Let me just say, very seldom I am not an angry person. I don't do it. Because first of all, I'll share this. When I was in, I just graduated from college and got a job during the summer before I went to school in Atlanta, Georgia. And this friend of mine, did I hit the wrong button? Did y'all hit the wrong button there? They got okay, just work with it if you can. Okay, whatever that is. I guess I look pretty good on there. So I guess we'll see what that is. Is that okay? So we'll keep moving. So what happened when I went to college? Before I went to college, I worked at over in South Cumminsville, and one of the ladies, who I was a friend with a woman, and she had a boyfriend, and her and her boyfriend got into it, and she called me. She said, "Can you get over to the hospital? Me and my boyfriend had a big argument, and he had a massive stroke." And I went over to see him, and he died a few days later. So you all need to see when you are angry, it can cause you to have an aneurysm. You can have a stroke. You could pass out. You can kill somebody in the process. And so how do people express their anger? Thank you, Dr. Macy. Mother of Love. Mother of Love. You okay today? Mother of Love? Okay. Isn't she beautiful? Let's give her a round of applause. Okay. Is it good and cold in here, everybody? Okay. Here's what we're going to have to do. Chuck, I need you to just go over and put it on 73. Just don't touch nothing. Just Chuck, I have it in. We'll be in 90 degrees in a minute. Yeah, they all set that here. Yeah, okay. But Chuck, just 73, and let's see how that works. So how do some people express their anger, you all? Dr. Jennifer and Dr. Porter and all of y'all. How do they do it? Through vandalism, rioting. How do people express anger? Physical assault. People are ready to go upside your head in a moment now. Also shouting and yelling. Oh, I had a guy, even the other day, I don't know what, because there's a street over here where you used to live, Kim. They were doing all those killings and murders. And but I was going up by that street, and this, I told you, this lady was tailgating me. And I didn't know why, so I just pulled over, and then she went on the street where they do all the killing. And then I said, okay, I see why. And I didn't lift my hand. You can't lift your hand now. You don't give nobody the finger. People are crazy. They are sick because they're walking around. The majority of Americans, I'm going to say it right now, you that's listening to me right now, yes, you. I'm talking about you. You that's listening to me right now. You're walking around with untreated PTSD and unresolved childhood trauma, and you are a time bomb. And it doesn't take much for somebody to trigger you for you to go off. And you need to get that under control. And America right now, the majority of its politicians, majority of its clergy and missionaries and mothers and prayer warriors are walking around with all this anger in their heart. They never resolve their PTSD issues. They never resolve their unresolved childhood trauma. And now the world and America, we've got to deal with this. Look at the trauma among the candidates that's running for office, you all. The awful things that they're saying about what they're going to do. Locking up people and calling the military on folk. Y'all know that is not normal. And then somebody say, I'm playing. You know somebody's mentally off. Oh, yeah, I'm going to shoot up everybody. I was just playing. We know you crazy. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? Oh, I'm just playing. And then some people justifying people's behavior. Oh, he's just playing. Let me leave it alone. Okay, what else could do? Throwing objects. I've had somebody throw an object at me. And they were a saint, brother. These were saints. Throwing objects. Public fights. Destruction of property. Cyberbullying. Intimidation. Blocking traffic. Spitting. Oh, I had a guy, 2 weeks ago, and it's always over there by that street where Kim used to live. I just keep crying. This guy he had a truck. No, it wasn't over there. It wasn't your place. It wasn't over there. This was somewhere else. This guy had this truck, and he was in the back of me, and I moved over, and guess what? I moved over, and he spit outside the door while he was driving. Spitting is a way, you all. You know, spitting is a disrespectful act often used to express disdain. And that was nothing I did to the guy. And I'm glad he didn't know this was Charlie Winburn. he probably really would have came after me. Are you all here with me? That's why I got off my walking route. I was on a walking route on North Bend Road up here. And guess what? A guy who knew me, he said, Mr. Winburn, I'm not going to shoot you. I said, thank God for that. And he said, I'm getting ready to shoot this guy. And he emptied his gun on a guy in front of me. I ain't been back to that site since. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? And this started right before COVID. Right before COVID. How do people express stuff? Threatening behavior, destructive protests, aggressive driving. Look how people road rage, breach of peace, destructive behavior, excessive sweating. Somebody got this excessive sweating and foul language and graffiti and inciting violence. Y'all see that among the politicians. When are they going to start arresting these people? If I get out among a crowd and start inciting violence, I ought to be arrested. We got politicians talking about killing folk. And then they got that one guy, I pray that guy don't win. I'm sorry, y'all. He just happened to be African American. I think he's down south. And he said it's time that we ought to kill some people. Please pray that he don't become governor. Because he's going to kill somebody. Somebody going to kill him. You know, everybody needs to know if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. Y'all keep going by the sword. I got my sword. I got my gun. Everybody got a gun now. Everybody got a gun. And I'm not against guns. You may have to have one in a situation. And I'm so sorry the other day, one of my friends who I supported for Cincinnati City Council, and we had a big celebration at City Hall several years ago with over 600 people. We filled the City Hall auditorium. We ran out of seats, you all. We fed hundreds of people, and Jeff Ruby and different people provided all the free food, and they helped me put together the largest foster care event that we've ever had in this town. And Miss Pat McCullum was murdered the other day. And not only was she murdered, her children were murdered, and the person allegedly that killed her was her son-in-law and murdered. So those 4 homicides. And I just want, why are people so angry? And had no mercy, y'all. They stabbed them, according to stabbed her to death. Yeah, and the kids. Now, in a situation like that, if she had a gun, that would have been a reasonable way to blow his brains out or shoot him. Yeah, those things, you can't come in people's house and do that to them. No, you can't do that. Then that's appropriate for guns, to protect your family and all that. But just to have a gun to be threatening people and doing stuff. So Pat is gone, you all. She's a member of New Jerusalem Baptist Church. And my heart goes out to her and her family and all of her family. And then, according to the newspaper, the guy choked her last year. Yeah, and dropped the charges based on all the information. If somebody's choking you, you ought to not be around them no more. Then in those situations, you may have to protect yourself. Second Amendment is appropriate. Did y'all hear me? Second Amendment is appropriate. I'm not against guns, but everybody got a gun now. Everybody got something. Everybody's trying to shoot somebody. And then especially if you're an angry person, you shouldn't even have a gun at all. Second Amendment or not. You're dangerous. So excessive swearing, inciting a riot, using weapons. We got a half an hour. Disrespectful gestures and confrontational aggression. Always have to prove that you have an issue. Let's go on. What is anger? Let's go on. We're going to hit it now. Ready? We're going to go to the PowerPoint. Help me. You may have to help me with this. Okay. Let's go back. What is anger? Anger is a strong emotional reaction to perceived threats or whatever it is. I'm not for sure being angry is normal at all. I don't think it's normal. I know the Bible allows us some grace that says, be ye angry, but sin not. But how many people you know are not going to sin when they get angry? They're going to end up killing somebody, hurting somebody, stabbing somebody. So it's that. Let's go on. 2. Just help me, 2. She'll help me there. This definition highlights anger as a natural emotional response. Hey, when you see me do this. That means just do it, okay? Psychological reaction. Anger is a psychological reaction. Anger involves physiological changes in the body. By the way, your heart rate. That's why you can drop dead being angry. You can have an aneurysm, a heart attack, being angry. You gonna keep an eye on me? Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, all right, we'll get it together. Okay. Yeah, social emotions. Anger is considered a social emotion. Anger can affect how individuals interact with one another. Anger, it's a cognitive appraisal. Anger arises from an individual's assessment of a situation. They feel threatened, and so as a result of anger. Also, this definition emphasizes the cognitive aspect of anger, suggesting that how one interprets events. And sometimes some people you can't play with. Are you all here with me? Because their motivational state. Anger can serve as a motivator for action. If you're going to be angry, take action. And when individuals feel angry, they may feel motivated to take some action. But you want to take positive action. Are you all here with me? So everybody's going to have to stop. Two things you got to do. First of all, in order to get in control of yourself, if you got a pattern of anger, you're going to have to manage your anger first. Watch what I'm going to say. And then number two, you got to stop it. Because you can't stop it until you manage it. Did y'all get it? Yeah. So I'm not totally against managing anger, but if you still have to keep managing anger, that means you still have it. So our goal is to get rid of it. But if you walk in love and you have no reason for your love, hey, Kim, I love you, Kim. Kim, you're beautiful. I love you, but it's not based on your beauty. It's based on my love. I don't have no reason to love you. I just love you. Isn't that amazing? Just wake up tomorrow morning and call somebody and say, I just love you, and I ain't got no reason for it. Did y'all hear what? I just love you, and I don't have no reason. Chuck, can you do that? Can you do that, Coach? Coach Futel? Next. Okay, let's go on. Adaptive function. Anger can have an adaptive function. Next. Also, this perspective views anger as useful emotion. Next about it, cultural construct. Anger can be perceived as expressed differently across cultures. And let's keep going. Anger. We can just keep going on that too. Chronic condition. When unmanaged anger can develop in a chronic condition, leading to ongoing issues such as aggression. Now, I hate to tell y'all this, all these killings that y'all been seeing here and stuff in Cincinnati, there's been a pattern before somebody do a mass shooting. There's always a pattern of anger. There's always a state of anger. Although, Sister Pat, somebody was angry before. You could always, and if somebody, I'm sorry, you all, if you try to hurt me or stab me one time, you won't have that opportunity no more. Because I'm going to practice Second Amendment. You can't come around. They say, 500 feet. No, you better not be in the same state I'm in. And I ain't going to be angry. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? I'm not going to be angry. You're just going to feel the impact of the Second Amendment. Did y'all hear? Look at that. So, you see, I'm not against, you say, he's against guns. No, I'm not. It's just that you can't go around with this chronic condition putting this stuff on everybody. Persistent anger. Anger can be expressed in various ways. That's right, passive-aggressive behavior. Okay, and next, we're going to go to the next one. A therapeutic focus. In therapy, anger is often explored as a means to understand underlying issues such as fear and hurt. And then I still say, because of, and I'm going to say this again, and Chuck, if you can, and I know Coach, when you do your recap, I'm going to ask Coach Futel and others, as you all mastermind this stuff each Sunday in you all's 45 minutes, try to integrate some of our teaching into whatever you're doing. I'm going to say something on Coach Futel's thing. He's teaching y'all about money and how to be successful, but if you're angry, you can kill it all overnight. And if you have not resolved your PTSD and have not got treated for your PTSD or got treated for your childhood trauma, you can make all the money in the world and be an unhappy person. By the way, I hate to tell y'all, the majority of millionaires and billionaires are very unhappy people. And everybody's trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to be a millionaire. You're a millionaire and you're unhappy. You done worked yourself half to death. You got high blood pressure. You're overweight. You're out of shape. You're upset. And you got, oh, yeah, I got millions of dollars, but you're not happy. You're not emotionally happy. And you're walking around with untreated, I'm going to say it again, you all, the majority of the people that I know, and I hate to tell you the majority of people in America, and I think I can prove it if I have to. If they call me in on the carpet, I'll bring the research. The majority of people are walking around in America untreated post-traumatic disorder, COVID. All you have to do is look at COVID, you all. COVID itself created a problem for everyone. You know, the COVID, that's traumatic. All the mass shootings is traumatic. Again, most of our politicians suffer from untreated PTSD. And I don't know why y'all want to go into office. Yeah, you know why they want to do it? So they can dominate over people and oppress people and do other people in. Most of our clergy suffer from PTSD, untreated PTSD, and unresolved childhood trauma. And then we got the clergy, y'all. Y'all need to stop this. Clergy and politicians, see, I've grown. I've matured in the Lord. Y'all need to stop all of this attacking children, attacking women, and transgender people, and heterosexual people, and bisexual people. You just focus on all this stuff, you all, that really has nothing to do with you. Now, I understand, well, we don't want the government paying for this. Yeah, we don't want the government doing this. But I think what you ought to do is tend to your own business and tend to your own vibrations. And now they're putting down, you don't know what a transgender person had to go through. You all don't know what you had to go through to be a heterosexual. I was told that I was a heterosexual growing up. I didn't know what all that meant. Now, I don't want to be too descriptive here. Now, you know, one guy pulled me to the side. He says, well, that goes into this, and that doesn't go into that. And I didn't understand. Look, but to this day, we were told we were heterosexual. And we had to walk that out. We didn't know what all that is. And then there's some people, if we don't know all about heterosexualism, because nobody taught us. Did your father and mother ever sit down with you? Look, listen to me right now, you smart aleck, you person that you're so religious, you're just so into God and everybody. I don't know how many parents have really sat down with their children and told them, what does it mean to be heterosexual? Nobody told us that. They talked about the birds and bees. What not? H-E-L-L-O is that? What does a bird and a bee have to do with my sexuality? What does it have to do with my lower parts and my genitals? Look at all that dumb stuff. And then we were never taught about what heterosexual really is. Your father never taught you? The pastor, he don't know much about it. So we don't know much about it. And somebody is a bisexual, they don't know what's about it, but you're criticizing the bisexuals now. Now you're criticizing the transgender. You don't even know much about what a heterosexual is all about. Now think about it, you all. You don't even know much about your own self. And then what we've done, we've taken agendas, you all, and couched them in the church. Now we're against everybody. We're against everybody. You say, where did Charles come from this? You know, our governor did something the other day that was bold, you all. He stopped a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of the conservatives are really upset with him, you know, because of his position about how people were attacking transgender people. And matter of fact, I'm going to be honest, the transgender person that I knew treated me better than heterosexuals ever treated me. And I don't know where Chirac is now. When I was on Jerry Springer show, I guess and every time I would see this person in Clifton, I would hug them. They were kind to me, And you don't know what people have gone through. Y'all just love to criticize people and love to send people to hell. You don't know what people had to go through. I even had a lady argue with me that Jesus did not have genitals. Jesus did not use the restroom. I said, well, if he did not have genitals and he didn't use the restroom, then he's some freak or something. But the Bible says he came in as a form of a man. He has what I had. I mean, God, tell you what, I didn't say had. That didn't sound good. That didn't sound good. Y'all don't think I'd have, God. Yeah, had. That didn't even sound good, did it? But what I'm saying is, let's get back. Therapeutic focus. There is some therapy for this stuff. Next, let's go on. Therapeutic approaches that we can have in addressing this stuff. Keep going. We got, come on, everybody. What are 20 anger triggers? We got 16 minutes. How do you can get triggers? Let's take a look at the triggers. Let's go. One is some people trigger because of injustice, but it's no reason to hurt nobody. Y'all heard some frustration. People feel disrespected. They feel betrayed. Y'all take a look at that. What triggers people in their anger? Take a look. Injustice. So people feel next, here's some more. Here, these are triggers. 5. Stress, accumulation of daily stress can trigger anger. Traffic. This is big, you all, in America now. It is, matter of fact, I like to drive when there's not much traffic on the road. Because traffic, delays, disruptions while driving, people are the most angry at that time. And I think they are the most sick at that time. And I think they are more prone to strokes and heart attacks at that time. Yeah, your job, I just don't want to be late on my job. Look, you late all the time. One more day ain't going to hurt. Loud noises. Let's go on. Here's another one. Personal attacks, lack of control, unmet expectations. By the way, I had something around husbands towards their wives. Remember why husbands and wives angry at each other? And I'm just only going to say one thing about that is unrealized expectations. That's the major problem of couples. Whether you're dating, you don't even talk about what you expect. You assume that they know what to do. Don't nobody know what to do if you don't tell them. Unrealized expectations. Expectations that have not been expressed. They should have done this. They should have opened the door. Won't you tell me to open the door? My daddy and mama didn't tell me how to open no door. Now I heard about people doing it. Now think about it. You didn't do this for me. How do I read your mind? How are you going to have a wholesome relationship if you don't tell your spouse or date or husband or wife what you really, really want? They can't read your mind. Don't they know I need some money? No, we don't know that. You got to talk about that. Don't they know I need to be kissed? Well, if you do, can you tell us? It's called these unrealized, these expectations. You got all these expectations about people, but you don't tell anyone. And then as a result, you build up all this fear in the home. Well, you should have known I was up here in the bed and I wanted to be hugged. How did I know that? How am I supposed to know that? Well, I wanted to make love tonight. Well, can't you open your mouth? I want to say something else. But no, I ain't going to do that. I want to keep this here. At least you could have gave me some sign. Are you with me? But do something. Say something. Come up. Do something. Like Michelle Obama. What did she say? Do something. Are y'all here with me? Because you got all these expectations around your relationship, and you assume that family. No, I hate to tell you all, probably 99 to 100% of parents in America don't teach their children about how to have a happy marriage, how to have a happy life, how to treat your husband, how to treat your wife. We are all out here trying to figure this mess out. Nobody has the standard, because if you do, I want to talk to you. Nobody knows. We're all trying to figure this out. You're trying to figure out your own sexuality. We just grew up. Oh, I'm heterosexual. What does that mean? When you really get down to it, what does all that mean? You're still dealing with what you are heterosexually because you think it comes automatically. And now you're getting on the transgenders and the bisexuals. And you don't know what they had to go through to even figure that out themselves. You're struggling with your own heterosexualism. You don't even know much about that. And now you're going to meddle with somebody else's sexuality. I'm hitting some folks here today because y'all need to know this. You need to tend to your own business. Here's another one. What triggers it? Oh, my God, let's go. Incompetence, neglect. Come on, sister. Hypocrisy, rudeness, and jealousy. That would cause manipulation and lies. Keep on, let's go. Poor communication and change and unresolved. Here's the impact of anger on your physical health. Let's move quickly. It can create hypertension. Next, it can also cause cardiovascular disease, depression. That's another. You want to stay depressed? Anger, anxiety disorders. Next one, gastrointestinal, chronic pain, sleep disorder, substance abuse. Look at it. Reduced immune function and diabetes, you all, and skin conditions. Your skin start looking rough and got this crepey looking skin. You know, they selling stuff. Is it called crepe? Is it crepey or creepy? It's called crepe. Crepe. Yeah, I call it creepy. It's creepy skin. You got all the, go back to the other one, to the creepy skin. It's skin conditions. Stress can anger. If your skin is creping up and all that, you may want to ask yourself, are you angry about something? Okay, let's go on to the next one. Anger, respiratory problems that can create social isolation. What else? Cognitive impairment. What else? Increased risk of stroke. What else? Eating disorders. When you're angry, oh my God, you just start eating and eating and eating. Aggressive behavior. What else? Chronic fatigue. You got fatigue all the time. You're angry all the time. Decreased life satisfaction and diminished sexual health. Are you all aware, you all now, that a lot of the youth generation now is less sexual? They're now getting their sexual pleasure just by being on the internet and just by playing games and doing all that. So dating is not a big thing anymore. It's having sex with robots and media and all this other stuff. You get your kicks. It's a whole different thing. Now, here it is. How did I get there, you all? But I've been dealing with all this stuff today, right? Yeah. Nine windburn factors contributing to widespread anger. Here are 9. Okay, let's go. We're going to go through these quick. You ready, sister? Number 1. Let's go back to the first page. Go back to the other page. Go back to the. Here are 9 windburn factors contributing to widespread anger. This is why we have so much anger in America, so much anger in your home, so much anger in College Hill and Avondale and Indian Hill, Emily Village, Lincoln Heights, Woodlawn, East Wanted Hills. I don't care where you live, Westchester. Why do we have so much anger all over the United States and all of our 52 states, wherever? Why is there so much anger? Why are you so angry? Number 1 is unresolved childhood trauma. Next. Number 2 is negative self-talk. It's what you're telling yourself. Next. Number 3 is emotional unhappiness, you all. That's the biggest one. That is the biggest one. Next one is inability to live a focused life. Your life is not focused, so you're angry and you're mad at the world. Next one, the next one, listening to negative third parties. Y'all better, I was telling a dear friend of mine, I said, you know, you and I are very good friends. I said, the only thing that can really destroy our relationship is a third party. You get a third party in your relationship is over. If it's a negative third party, And if you broke up with someone, it's because one or both of y'all had a negative third party in your relationship. Are you all here with me? Next one is increased oxidative stress. Increased oxidative stress. Here's another one. Increased inflammation in the body can cause anger. Let's go. What's the next one? And increased toxicity in the body can cause anger. Inability to walk in unconditional love can cause anger. Hey, I love you, mother of love, Aisha, because I love you. I don't have no reason. Let's go. No, okay, here's one. 25 solutions for resolving your anger in life. Is this pretty good? See how we got here? Here's 25 to get rid of this, all this anger. Deep breathing. I do a lot of deep breathing these days. Just do some deep breathing. You do that before I go into meetings. Do some deep breathing. You feel you're going to get angry or whatever it is, just start deep breathing. Number 2, exercise. Stay right there. No. Go back to 2, exercise. I tell you, Mother of Love is on a roll now. Okay. Well, you get her all stuff. I don't know what you smoke. You smoke some good. Hey, after service, I'm going to puff of that good stuff. I know it's good. Okay. Is everybody still? Come on, you all trying to be serious? And, okay, Jennifer laughing. Everybody come on. Okay, exercise. Physical exercise help. Let me tell you all, if you all will just start exercising, your life will change. 3, here's one. Chuck, is it true? They told me this morning you got your scale. Is that true? How old are you? Okay, and how old are you, your age? She's 60, you 68, and you what? Man, I am proud of him, 42. But here's the good news. I'm 73 and I'm 40. Okay, that's all right. I like him. He's okay. He's okay, yeah. Okay, beautiful. He's all right. Is that with or without Viagra? I'm just having a little fun. Okay, aren't we having some fun already, everybody? Okay, but that's good, Chuck. You're doing well. That's good. Okay, mindfulness meditation. This is the new scale. Go back to number 3. That's the new scale we were talking about that people on. Did you get your scale yet? Okay. Jennifer's got her scale. Coach, you got your scale. Aisha? Scale, okay. And Chuck got his scale. We want to make sure, make sure we bless y'all for you. Oh, here's one, mindful meditation. Here's the ways to reduce anger. Number 4, you want to reduce anger? Do some journaling. Write down some good thoughts. You want to reduce, identify triggers. Here, stay right there. Identify these triggers. Every time you get triggered, you get emotional, just trigger, raising your voice. And I know some people in your family member triggering you. You got to ask, why are they doing this? You can't keep letting them have free rent in your head. Y'all got to stop this. Every time. And then you got to stop being Dolly do-gooder. You got to stop trying to save the world. Okay? If I'm just going to save the world. No, I'm not. Save yourself. Somebody else and your household if you can. You know, so journal. 6, come on. Ways to deal with anger. Communicate effectively. Practice. Here's one. Take time out. Step up. Go back to 7. Stay there. Just stay there for a minute. Take time out. Stay away from heated situations. So 8. Use humor, everybody. You see how integrated in what I do? Coach Futel does it. You got to start using more humor. Y'all got to stop. You got to start having fun. More fun, you all. What are y'all doing? Can't we ever be serious? No. Now, one thing I understand what one of the presidential candidates is saying. This is an unserious person. Well, you know, I just want to speak on our level here. Be careful about being serious, because you may talk yourself out of having fun, enjoying life, and getting yourself stressed out. Now, I understand priorities and things that are important. You understand what I'm saying. But don't let that word serious cause you to be an unhappy person, because you can get so serious that you end up being angry and mad at people and so on and so forth. Oh, practice empathy. Not 10. Come on. 10. Seek solutions, you all. Hey, when you get angry, find solutions. Here's one. Set boundaries. Here's one. Seek professional help. Let me go back. Seek 12. Everybody, I'm going to say to everybody in America that's listening to me right now, go get professional help. And if you've been with a doctor for 1 or 2 years, and you want to switch up, or you can stay with that doctor, but find another doctor. Find somebody that do EMDR. Find somebody that is good at dealing with PTSD. Go get help. Stop trying to diagnose, and everybody needs to stop being a therapist to your family. Y'all got to stop this. Your husband, if he needs therapy, go get him therapy. If you give your husband therapy, it can make you sick. Okay? Your wife therapy, go stop trying to be somebody's therapist. You got a wife, she's your wife, not your therapist. You got a husband, that's your husband, not your therapist. I'm not being no therapist to nobody no more. Did y'all hear what I'm saying? You on your own. It's time for you to go seek professional help. Let me say it again. You're sick, and you know you're sick, and you don't want nobody to know it. But we all know you're crazy, and that's okay. Go get some help. Go get you some help and stop trying to diagnose your own PTSD and your own unresolved childhood trauma. You got a problem. I cannot be a therapist to you. Seek professional help. Next, engage in relaxation techniques. Find a way to relax. Next, 14, practice gratitude. That will always get you out of anger. If you're so grateful for what, go back to 14. You're so grateful for what the Lord has done through you and for you. Just so great. Practice. 15. Come on. 15. We're almost there. Limit exposure to triggers. Reduce your exposure. Go back to 15. Stay right there. Reduce your exposure to situations and people and media that provokes anger. Are you all here with me? Some of y'all angry at the presidential candidates. Go in there and vote against them. Stop talking all this stuff. Oh, this person is this. Vote against them. Vote for the person that won't trigger you. Is that pretty good? Vote for the person that won't trigger you. And I did that myself the other day. I said, oh, no, I'm voting for the person that won't trigger me. Are you with me? Limit your exposure to triggers. 16. Develop problem-solving skills. Improve your ability to navigate conflicts and challenges. Let's go. Lean into these situations. 17. Learn from your mistakes instead of getting angry. No, 17. Go back to 17. Learn instead of getting angry about mistakes, view them as opportunities for learning and growth. You all, let's just learn from your mistakes. 18. Visualize calmness. Use visualization techniques to picture a peaceful. Go back to 18. 18. Use visualization techniques to picture a peaceful scene when you start to feel angry. Go out and walk, or wherever you have to go. Go to a park. Go on the beach. You all visualize calmness. You know, they've got all these videos now you can purchase on how to keep yourself calm. They got all that stuff. I listen to that stuff. They've got neural association tapes, visualization tapes, all kinds of stuff that'll calm your emotions, that'll calm your subconscious mind so you can stay calm. 19, use I statements. When discussing your feelings, you can say I statements. I feel frustrated when, to express yourself without blaming others. You know, every now and then, hey, this is how I feel right now. Now I'm going to go on a breathing technique. I'm going to go walking. I'm going to exercise. Is everybody here with me? And then 20, and we're wrapping up for the day. You got to practice forgiveness. Even the people that hurt you. Have we all been hurt, everybody? I know I've been hurt. How many of y'all been hurt? How many of y'all been treated like a junkyard dog? Have y'all helped people and they stabbed you in the back? Have you encouraged people and they degraded you? Have you honored people and they turned their back against you? Have you loved someone and they wasn't lovable? But guess what? We got to practice forgiveness. We got to let go of grudges and resentment because it will turn into sickness and disease every time. And forgiveness can be liberating and reduce anger. I believe this is it. I rest my case today, and I believe you can bring an end to anger today. Well, there are 3 easy ways to give. And number one, easy way to give, that's number one, and it's online Sunday. There it is, online Sunday Connect. Those who like to give there, that's a very popular one. But here's the one that's really popular. People like this one, Cash App. And if you like to give the Cash App, and thank you, Dr. Molly, for your giving, Molly Thompson. Appreciate it. today. And by the way, I do want to say this while you're doing it on Cash App. In my book called 60 Seconds to a Focused Life, in my book called 60 Seconds to a Focused Life, those who have a copy, go to chapter 13, and it shows you how to deal with, it talks about anger management. It says if you're managing anger, you still got it, but it also shows you ways how to get out of anger, how to bring anger to an end. Because if you're focusing on anger, you'll get more of it. If you're managing anger, you're getting more of it. Did y'all get it? So if you're gonna manage something, manage love in your life, manage joy in your life, manage peace in your life, manage emotional happiness in your life. If you want to manage something, manage laughter in your life, manage fun in your life, manage your divineness in your life. That's a positive management. Did y'all get it? But to manage something negative in your life, no, it needs to go. So Cash App, 60 Seconds to a Focused Life. That chapter is in there for you. Cash App, we're getting ready to go off the air in 1 minute. You could also give by mail. Give by mail. Aisha, let's run through them one more time. Those who want to give, you could give right now online. Sunday Connect. Cash App, you ready for Cash App? You could do for Cash App. What you do on mailing and on by mail. Well, guess what? Next week, we're going to talk about how hurt people, and we're going to find out if you're a hurt person. We're going to find if you're still hurt and have not got healed from your hurt. And so we're going to help you how to resolve the hurt that was done to you, the damage that was done to you. We're going to show you how to resolve your hurt so you won't end up hurting other people. Because as you know, hurt people, and you can't take it personal because they hurt. Well, until next week, may the Lord God bless you real good, and we'll see you next week. Aisha.
I am Charlie Winburn, your life coach with Renew Community Church right here in the city of Cincinnati. And I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health even as your soul prospers. Did you know that you are both human and divine and that you deserve to live a better life in Christ right here on earth? Our messages are practical, they are raw, they're fun, and they are focused on real issues as it relates to your spiritual life, health life, your mental life, your financial life, your relationship life, and even your business life and community life. Today, we have another real life application message designed especially for you and your family. Remember, before we get started today, you can learn more about Renew Community Church free life coaching by visiting our website, renewcommunitychurch.org, or you can listen to us every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. each Sunday on YouTube, Renew Community Church live stream, or reach me at 513-884-7832. I want you to join me now for another life-changing message with Charlie Winburn, your life coach, right here in the city of Cincinnati, Ohio.